So we are moving again. I know. I made a video about 3 months ago justifying how it was worth it to pay $10,000 per month in rent. But hear me out. I also said there's a reason why I was deciding to rent an apartment rather than to buy one. At that time, my life was so full of change. I mean, I couldn't even predict 6 months, let alone sign a 30-year mortgage. And when you make a decision like buying a home, you never want to make that when you're in an unclear headspace. Bye, Theo. I'll be right back. You stay. But to put all this into perspective, why I'm moving again, I'm going to take you on a brief timeline of my rental history here in New York City. So I've lived in New York City for the past 8 years, and during that time, I've rented 9 apartments, all of which we're going to go check out right now. So I realized pretty quick into that it's gonna take a long time to go to all 9 apartments. So we're back at the loft, and I'm just gonna walk you through each one of these 9 apartments and how much I paid for rent. Apartment number 1 is back in 2012. This was on 125th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard in Harlem. I was paying a whopping $300 per month to share 1 bedroom with 3 other people. Apartment number 2 was on 96th Street and 3rd Avenue up in Harlem, and I was paying $1,000 per month in a 3-bedroom shared apartment. Apartment number 3 was on 64th and 1st Avenue in Midtown East, and I was paying $2,000 per month. Apartment number 4 was on 84th and York Avenue in the Upper East Side, and I was paying a whopping $1,300 per month to live in a 300 square foot studio apartment. Apartment number 5 was 2 blocks down on 82nd and York Avenue. It was a 1-bedroom, and I was paying just under $2,000 per month. Apartment number 6 was on 29th and 3rd Avenue. This was a 1-bedroom flex, meaning that there was a wall, but it wasn't a real wall. It kind of stopped 2 feet before the ceiling. And for this flex, I was paying $1,700 per month. Apartment number 8 was on 23rd and 7th Avenue, right in the heart of Chelsea, and I love this apartment. This was a studio, just about 400 square feet. I was paying $2,800 per month. It had a rooftop, it had great views, lots of natural sunlight, southern exposure. This might be one of my favorite apartments in the city. Apartment number 8 is in that same building on 23rd and 7th Avenue. Moved up to a 1-bedroom, and I was paying $3,800 per month. And finally, that brings us to apartment number 9, the one that I'm currently standing in right now. This is a 2,000 square foot loft apartment in the heart of Soho. This is the biggest home I've ever lived in, counting the homes that I grew up in as a kid. Now for the reasons why I've decided to move out of what is my dream apartment. Number 1 is I've started traveling again. If you've been following this channel since 2017, 2018, you know one of my biggest passions in life is traveling. It's creating travel content around extreme remote destinations, hiking to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, living on a boat in the Maldives, and surfing. That is what gets me going. Those are the things that inspire me. And as everyone knows, over the past year, travel became a non-existent thing. But over the past 6 months, with the vaccines rolling out and the world slowly opening up again, I'm going to start creating content again that fills my soul up, things that really get me going creatively, and making those types of travel guides that do resonate with this audience. Because I know you watching this at home, if you are a traveler, you are just itching to get back out there and start exploring the world. And if Theo and I are out traveling around, it really doesn't make sense to be renting a $10,000 per month apartment. So reason number 2 is space. This apartment is just over 2,000 square feet of open concept loft. Just to show you how large this place is, I'm gonna keep this one clip and you can time how long it takes me to get from one end to the other of this apartment. And just for the 2 of us, it's a lot, so we're looking to downsize. Isn't that right? Yeah. How do I even get into this? I wrote some notes down on my phone just to kind of keep this on track, but the third reason for wanting to move out of this space are personal reasons. And I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Going back to the start of this video when I was talking about buying a house. When you do something like buy a house, you need to be in such a clear headspace. And when I rented this apartment back in the fall, I was in, I'll just be honest, I was not in the best headspace. On a personal note, 2020 was the most difficult year of my life for many reasons. I went through a lot of personal struggles that one day, today's not that day, but one day in the distant future, I will speak about those struggles in detail, but I got low. I went through some severe depression. And the property tours are great, crazy travel destinations are great, but I want to actually use this video and this platform to talk about something that is actually pretty serious and can benefit someone out there watching. And that topic is mental health. The thing is, especially for men, this is such a very taboo subject. This is not something that many people talk about, especially in the public. And I'll be the first to admit, I was so against speaking to a therapist. I had to get to the point where I wasn't being told that I should do it, but I was at the point where I felt like I needed to. I had to get to the point, unfortunately, where I hit rock bottom in a very, very real way, and I felt compelled that the only way that I could get through this was that I had to speak to a therapist. So it went from the people around me suggesting it heavily to me having to fall pretty damn low and realize that I had to if I was going to get back to who I am. And that's the thing, a lot of people, especially you watching this, you know me as that guy on YouTube who tours crazy properties, the guy who's waking up at 5 a.m., the guy who's usually pretty motivated, pretty positive for the most part, but I am very human. I have character defects, I have flaws, and I worked through a lot of them in a very real way over the past year. Now that I'm out of this storm, that I feel comfortable sharing this with the hopes that it can benefit someone else watching out there. Therapy is a dance, and you really have to feel that connection with your therapist in order to move forward. And BetterHelp will really assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist that you can really jive with and have that connection. And once you do find that therapist, you can start communicating with them in 48 hours, which is pretty quick. It's not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it's professional counseling done securely online. There's a huge range of over 15,000 counselors in the BetterHelp network, which depending on where you are in the world might not be available locally in the area that you're in. The beauty of this is it is at home. You're never gonna have to sit in one of those uncomfortable waiting rooms, waiting nervously to speak to your counselor. It's done all online, all right here. And if you do decide that you want to switch counselors, BetterHelp is committed fully to facilitating those changes to making your experience as beneficial as possible. It's more affordable than that traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available if you need it. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today, and it really is that simple as just taking that first step. It literally changed my life and gave me a fresh perspective. Even in my recent content, you can just tell I'm back to the guy I used to be. I have that lust for life back. Visit betterhelp.com/Erik. That's betterhelp.com/Erik, and join the over 1 million people who are taking control of their mental health. There's something especially in hustle culture, sleeping 4 hours, grinding. Do you know what is attractive to me? Do you know what success looks like? Success looks like sleeping 8 hours. Success looks like working out every single day. Success looks like meditation every single morning. Success looks like taking time to do the things I love, like surfing. And through BetterHelp, I've found that again in my life. And if you sign up from this video using betterhelp.com/Erik, you get 10% off your first month. Again, I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. And with that, I was thinking we might as well just vlog the rest of the day. A lot of people have been commenting they want to see vlogs, so let's do it. Let's go vlog the rest of the day. There's a time and the place for the big camera, but for now we are leaving it here, and we're just gonna film a nice point and shoot video. We're gonna take this dog outside because it is a beautiful spring day. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Look at that bushy tail, my gosh. Theo, you are a grown man now, you are huge. I think last time they saw you, you were still a little puppy. Here we are, the world famous 368, home of Casey Neistat, Sam Shepard, and the best in the building. Come on, Theo, let's go.
Theo, what do you think of the space? Oh my gosh, I guess he likes it. I don't even call to hang out with you anymore. I just want to see Theo. Good job, Theo!
So this right here, this is Gabe. One of the best videographers, editors, all around creatives in New York City, and Theo is currently just attacking him with love. This is Abraham, editor extraordinaire. Everyone knows who this is. The legend himself, Brett Conti. So this is a members only dog park, or if you're staying at the Soho Grand, you can come here with your pooch. And it's pretty unique the fact that there's a hotel in New York City that has a dog park like this. I mean, it's pretty large. They got the AstroTurf, all the nice plants, the rocks. When I'm working from home, I come to this park maybe 4 or 5 times a day with Theo. He's got all of his friends here. It's a cool place to come hang out and have lunch too. You have fun out there in the park? Good boy, let's get some water, come on. Home sweet home. Back onto the topic of moving. I forgot to mention just the logistics of all this. Where am I moving next? When is that happening? There's a lot of things that are kind of in the works. So as you can see just by the place, I've pretty much packed up all of my things. I mean, the shelf is empty. Everything is pretty much in storage besides for the furniture, so the table, and then we have the 2 couches. So those are staying out. And then back here into the laundry room, we'll take a look in here. We have some boxes here, and then back into the storage room. Get a little look in here. This is the control center of the apartment, and that is it. We have 4 boxes with just the essentials. And as far as where we're moving next, I'll talk about that for a little bit. Soho is my dream neighborhood. I remember when I first moved to the city, I'm like, one day I'm gonna live in Soho, and here we are. So we're definitely staying in Soho or Tribeca. We're looking for something most likely half the size of this. So this is just over 2,000 square feet. Looking for something a little under 1,000 square feet, a 1-bedroom, maybe a 2-bedroom so I could have an office. This apartment is actually for sale. They're asking 3.75 million. So if you're out there and you would like to move into this place, this apartment, and I keep saying this, I want to drive this point home. This is my dream apartment. This is it. It's just the timing right now in my life doesn't really make sense for me to be living in such a large space with just myself. So if you're out there and this place looks like it could be home, my email's down below in the description. Contact me and we'll make it happen. So in the winter when I first moved in here, there wasn't this natural sunlight, but now that the days are getting longer, we get all this sunlight coming into the apartment. Where's that sun at? There you are. Southern exposure right there. You can't ask for more than that in the city. Good southern exposure, natural sunlight. But as far as a life update, I mean, things are going, I can't even believe how well they're going. On the work front, I just landed a $1 billion building sellout at Skyline Tower in Long Island City. That's $1 billion with a B, $1 billion sellout. Even looking back at all that old footage in today's video, it's pretty surreal to actually pause and think about just this journey in New York. It's been 8 years this March that I've lived in New York City, and you can't even compare the beginning till now. I mean, Theo, what do you think? Theo's out of breath just thinking about it. So I am still working in real estate here at Nest Seekers, working on a bunch of other projects. Also, I'm potentially working on another fitness collaboration, which if you have been following me, you know I did the 90-day and the 30-day Chris Hemsworth Center Fit Challenge. So in the next week, maybe 2 weeks, I'll be finding out if I'm gonna be doing another workout challenge. So there's a lot of good stuff happening, and that's pretty much it for this video. Comment down below if you want to see more vlogs like this. I'm talking just point and shoot, me holding the camera, no third person fancy angles or fancy shots, just really bringing it back to the reason why I started YouTube, and that's to 1, share perspective, 2, tell stories, and 3, just to make some cool stuff. So comment down below if you want to see more vlogs like this one. With that, I will see you in the next New York City vlog, where we will be hunting for a brand new apartment. Apartment number 9 or 10? I think number 9, but we'll see you then.